The noise alpha effect can be found under the noise and grain category, and it applies noise to the alpha channel of the layer. So with my logo here that has a transparent background, with noise alpha applied, I'll zoom in here. With the default settings, I'll just increase the amount, and what you'll see is that it's adding grain to that alpha channel, making the pixels it's applied to semi-transparent, or in some cases completely transparent, all based on that noise pattern. So it's leaving the color channels alone and just increasing or decreasing the opacity based on that noise channel. Under the noise type, it's defaulted to uniform random, meaning that there's going to be an equal amount of bright and dark noise in our noise pattern, but we could change that to squared random, and it's going to be a little bit more contrasted. We also have the ability to choose uniform animation and squared animation, and you'd think that if I scrub through here, that would mean that it's going to actually animate all by itself, but it doesn't actually. It switched this value right here to noise phase from random seed on uniform random. So with uniform random applied and random seed, I'll increase the random seed and you'll see that every single value is completely random. But if I switch this to uniform animation and now change the noise phase, you can see that it's much more organic, animating from one value to the other. So if you want really truly random noise, you're going to want to change this to uniform random. And if you want to have something that's a little bit more like a fractal noise, then you use uniform animation. And the same thing goes for squared random and squared animation. Let's reset this back to what it was and increase that noise one more time, and then take a look at the original alpha value. This is how to apply the noise to the alpha channel. So by default, we're clamping it, which produces noise in the opaque areas or the visible areas only. We're not generating any noise in the transparent areas. But if I change that from clamp to add, then it's going to equally apply grain to the entire layer, regardless of whether or not the pixels in it are transparent or opaque. If I switch this to scale, then it's going to adjust how much grain is applied based on how transparent or opaque the pixels are. In this case, my logo only has 100% opaque or 100% transparent pixels, but if I just add a fast box blur before the noise alpha and shut off the noise for a second, I'm going to increase the blur radius so I have some semi-transparent pixels in here as well. I'll turn that noise alpha back on and then turn the fast box blur off and on. And you can see in that fall off between those semi-transparent pixels right there, the grain is also fading out in its intensity. Let me shut off that fast box blur for a second and look at the last option, which is edges. And this is going to not affect anything within those 100% transparent pixels and instead find the edges of that alpha channel and apply the grain there. So if I really increase this, you can see that I'm getting this kind of chewed up edge around my alpha. It's not very easy to see when you zoom out to 100% resolution, but if I turn that fast box blur back on and then dial it back a bit, I just want to ever so slightly add a little bit of blur, maybe just even 0.1 pixels, it's going to give me that textured edge. And maybe I'll turn that grain amount back down a little bit so it's not quite so intense. But that way I can have a little bit of that textured edge and even animate it through the random seed to get something that kind of vibrates as the animation goes on. The next value is the overflow, which is defaulted to wrap black. But we also have the ability to set this to clip, which will basically take any value that goes above or below pure white or pure black and just clamp it to pure white or pure black. Wrap back takes those values that go beyond it and basically subtract the difference beyond pure white and pure black back into gray tones. And then wrap simply takes any of those values that go above pure white and wraps it back down to pure black and the other way around. Now finally, we have noise options for the animation. So this only applies to the uniform animation and squared animation, but if I switch that on and go down, we're able to cycle the noise. So if I check that, then every revolution of this noise phase will be a loop, or we can customize the number of revolutions we want per noise phase loop. But that is the noise alpha effect in a nutshell. Hey, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this tutorial, then check out the other ones here on my YouTube channel. And if you like my teaching style, then definitely check out my longer form content on Skillshare and School of Motion. And if you want to support more tutorials like this one, check out my Patreon. You can find links for all of that stuff in the description of this video.